Hello everyone and welcome back to The Games Must Go On. In the last episode, we tried to allow everyone's third favorite plumber to try to rescue the princess without having a cent in his pocket. In Wario Land Shake It though, you play as Mario's opposite, and instead of ignoring some loose change like Mario, Wario has incredible greed. And this challenge, we're going to be taking this to the max. Is it possible to beat Wario Land Shake It with every single coin?
So without further ado, let's get right into this.
Wait, Nathaniel Bandy, is this a collab episode?
It is now, Waluigi, so let's jump right into the rules.
Alright then, the rules are simple. Our goal is to reach the end credits while beating each level on the way with every single coin, and this includes all coins of money bags, golden enemies, and all the money just lying around. And while not required, we are going to be trying to get all the treasure chests, but if we miss them they're not required, and the same can be said for the secret maps. Also in this quest, I'm going to be banning the water levels as they function completely differently to the platformer, turning into a shoot 'em up. Also, when dying in these levels, you can see Wario's not even in the sub, meaning you were never playing as Wario to begin with, or a fate much worse for Wario. For these and other gameplay changes, like only in these levels enemies drop coins, we are not going to be counting these levels in our coin total. But with that, let's jump into level 1, aboard the sweet stuff.
This level is the tutorial for this game, and provides a good basis on how the game is going to be played, that being slow-paced. Because of how many coins there are, we have to check every nook and cranny, although in most cases the coins are in plain sight. Nevertheless, Aboard the Sweet Stuff is an easy level, resulting us in gaining 12,560 coins in all treasures, allowing us to move to the first world in the game.
Now that we're in the first official world, we can start off with Stone Carving City, which is also fairly easy, resulting in us getting 26,780 coins and all free treasures, although it does introduce us to one of our greatest enemies to the run, coin bags. Now coin bags are a huge hindrance to our run for two reasons. For one, we have to collect every single coin out of them, and two, when we shake these coin bags, coins go whole out everywhere in random directions and they ricochet against walls, preventing us from just hugging a wall and shaking.
Thankfully, we have a simple solution and friend in this situation: loading zones. Loading zones function as walls and are normally paired with a floor and ceiling, allowing us to go into the pocket, shake the coins out in the small area, which then allows the coins to easily be picked up.
Next up is Whoopsie Desert, which is also pretty easy. And here we're able to get all 33,790 coins, the free treasures, and the secret map all pretty easily. And the level makes this even better by providing us pyramids with tight pockets to shake out coin bags into.
Now onto Fall Water Falls, which is the first somewhat tough challenge. While most of the level is a breeze, the first two coin bags throw a wrench in our plans. Remember how I said that loading zones allowed us to empty coin bags easily? Well, here that couldn't be more true. This is because in this level there's water, and as everyone knows, when the soft fabric of a coin bag touches water, it spontaneously combusts. Also, the huge chunks of metal that we call coins sink in said water.
This is where the problem is: actually getting a coin bag to the loading zone. First is a gap that can be cleared by bouncing off of a floating bandinero, but then we reach a cliff leading to a ledge that is too high for us to reach. And even if you bounce off of the bandineros, you still don't get enough height to clear the ledge. So sadly, I must declare this challenge as a failure. Yeah, no, just kidding.
While it's normally unnoticed in normal gameplay, when Wario throws an enemy or coin bag in the air, the enemy gains a considerable amount of height. By bouncing on a banderino and then throwing the coin bag at the peak of your jump, you're just barely able to get it in the loading zone.
The other challenging part of this level is actually the escape section, where we have to make a slight detour from the regular path in order to get a treasure as well as a coin bag, although it's not a big deal, finishing off the level with all free treasures, the secret map, and 32,000 coins.
Thankfully, the next level, Rundown Pyramid, is way easier than the last level. Here we can get all three treasures and 39,780 coins. And with that, we're off to the boss battle with Rollin' Roddy, which has absolutely no coins, which means World 1 ends off with 132,350 coins.
Quick note: because the game doesn't have an actual currency name like G's or gold, we're just going to be calling the amount of money we collect coins. This is because the symbol that appears next to the money in normal gameplay is a coin, even though different coins are worth different amounts.
Now in the second world, we start on just plains. While the majority of the level is easy, when we get to the escape section, the difficulty ramps up. This is because there's multiple split paths with coins and treasures on all of them, and worse than that, we have a ticking clock counting down the whole time.
While it's somewhat difficult, with careful routing it is actually possible to collect everything, including all free treasures and 42,530 coins. After that, we can skip over wavy waters, first out of the free water levels, and move directly to Mount Lava Lava. This is a physically difficult level requiring lots of precise jumps, but even still it is completely possible. Until the escape section at least.
In the escape section at the beginning, we either have to choose to go up a ladder, collect a chest, go back down, get a large coin and collect a secret map, or go the low route and use a boulder to push you into a room with a max viscosity Raider required for a few coins. Both of these routes contain required coins, but thankfully, by using precise movements, we can actually just barely grab the large coin and make it to the max Fastosity Raider. The only problem with this is that it prevents us from getting a treasure and a secret map. Even still, we are able to end off the level with 41,690 coins and 2 of the treasures.
Next up is Savannah Valley, and surprisingly it doesn't feature any real problems. It does however feature our first gold floating banded arrow, which because these enemies can be shaken out, we are required to shake the coins out of it. Thankfully this one is close to a pole that we can jump from to knock it down, and collect its coins. This allows us to end off the level with all free treasures and 54,090 coins. And with that, we can take on the boss of this world, the Hot Roderick race, which does not feature a single coin. And with that, World 2 gives us 138,310 coins.
Next up is World 3, and here we start off on the wreck train, but thankfully this level is anything but a train wreck as we can collect all 3 treasures and 52,930 coins with relative ease. With that, we can move on to Stone Tooth Cavern, which is also pretty easy, although the escape route is kind of interesting. This is because the stone teeth of these fossils do have coinage in them, which are only breakable by using the max Fastosity Raider. Thankfully, with a little routing, it's not hard to complete the level with all 3 treasures and 51,370 coins.
Next up is It's All Mine, and this level is also extremely easy. The only thing to remember is not to kill the gold pitchfork while in a dash state in order to be able to come back and shake all the money out of it, instead of just getting one measly coin. But with that, we can finish off the level off with all free treasures and 56,980 coins. After that, we can move on to Glitter Town, which we can find one little problem. While the normal level itself isn't that tough, when we reach the escape section we encounter a problem. Now, as this level takes place in a Las Vegas-esque theme, there are bound to be slot machines, and while most of these provide useful tools like bombs to blow up metal crates, there is one that of course gives actual money in the escape section. Now this wouldn't be that big of a deal if on its own it could only spawn one set of coins, resulting in a 1,000 coin bonus. Instead, these machines can spawn an infinite amount of coins. So that's the dilemma. What to do with these machines? Now, in order for this challenge to make any sense, I'm going to ban the money from these machines, just because they are an infinite coin provider. But with that out of the way, we can finish off level 3 with all free treasures, the secret map, and 42,750 coins. And after the Chorlobot challenge, we can finish off World 3 with 204,030 coins.
Next up is World 4, and here we start with Ropey Jungle. And thankfully, it's a piece of cake. Although in the escape section, you have to be sure to grab all the coins on a fast-moving rope, but even if you miss a few, you have just barely enough to go back to try again. After the rope, you can finish off the level with all 3 treasures as well as 52,310 coins. After that, we can skip over Windbreak Bay and move on to Airy Tail Castle. While the level is a little tedious due to the fact that we have to pilot these motion-controlled rocket buckets, nothing directly endangers us. That is, except for the worst part of the game. Those horrible arrow doors just had to exist in the game. But with that, we're able to beat the level with all 3 treasures, the secret map, and 62,870 coins.
Lastly, in World 4, we have Soggy Bog River, which while it is harder than Ropey Jungle, it doesn't feature anything out of this world. and with that, we're able to escape the level with all free treasures, the secret map, and 61,500 coins. And with that, we can beat the original Floral Fury, Bloom Stage Blowout, and end off World 4 with 176,680 coins. And with that, we're off to the final world, World 5. And first up here is Mount Big Hill, which while it is a bit tedious, it doesn't feature anything that is extremely difficult. Just time your spring bounces correctly, and we can end off the level with all free treasures and 62,430 coins.
After skipping the third and final water level, Creep Blue Sea, we can move on to Slipshod Slopes, which while the ice physics are annoying, we are able to escape with all three treasures, the secret map, and 69,150 coins. And with that, we're at the last real level in the game, Bad Manor. After that, it's just a large fry cook-off and a shakedown with the Shake King.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still have to get through Bad Manor. It shouldn't be that bad though, right? Right?
Yeah, Waluigi. Most of this level is actually pretty easy, but there is one problem we should address.
Oh no.
That being that while you are able to get to the escape section with all coins, sadly for the escape section there is a split path, one with normal Wario and one with mini Wario. The normal Wario path features poles you have to climb in order to get coins in a secret map, and of course you can't climb poles as mini Wario, and the mini Wario path features a gap so small that regular Wario can't crawl through it. And worse still, you can't jump back into the areas backwards because they have barriers protecting them. And lastly, after we pick a path, we have to stick to it, not having an option to switch after dropping down.
If there was pretty much any glitch in the game, such as loading zone storage, double or wall jumps, an enemy teleportation glitch or clip, or even a clip out of bounds, it would be possible to get back into the mini Wario section, grab the coins, go through the level normally, and end by escaping through the normal Wario section. Sadly, no glitches have been discovered in the game, let alone any in this level, meaning that we have to say no, it is not possible to beat Wario Land Shake It with every single coin. Instead, we get stuck here on the last level with the grand total of 795,510 coins.
Hey Waluigi, you know those secret maps we're collecting? Why do we need them anyway?
Oh, those things? They just unlock a few extra levels.
Well, are those levels possible?
I'm sure they're fine. Let me take a look. Oh no. Now, while some of the levels in the main game may have been just a tad tricky, they can only be considered a warm-up to these secret levels. Case in point, our first hidden level, Disturbing Tomb.
While the level's pretty difficult on its own, full of enemies such as turkey jerks and other late game enemies, that's not the problem in this level. The problem is we have another split path in the escape section. We could use a cannon to get some extremely valuable coins and even a diamond. The only problem is if we don't take the cannon, we also get coins, so there's no way to get both sets of coins. At least at first. While it is impossible to get normally, if we were able to get onto a ledge, we would be able to get all the delicious coins that lie on one of the split paths. Sadly, our jump is too weak and we're unable to get the ledge.
Thankfully, we aren't using normal gameplay. If we need something to enhance our jump, then we need nothing other than a max fastosity Dasherator, which we can actually get access to pretty early into the level. The problem is actually getting Wario to the ledge in the dash state. If we were just able to get dash state Wario past this step, this level would be possible. The problem is this one enemy.
While most enemies in the Shake dimension spontaneously combust when they get hit by Wario in his dash state, such as Banderinos, Pitchforks, and Short Fuses, Mummers are an exception. Their attack pattern is nothing incredible, only moving back and forth and sometimes breathing out a poisonous fog. Its real problem is the only way to defeat it is by using your Shake Punch. All other attacks fail and just bounce off the Mummer, including ramming him with Dash Wario, and because the enemy has such a big hitbox, he's almost impossible to get past without ramming into him. So is this level impossible?
While it is extremely tight, taking a little over an hour, by doing an almost pixel perfect and frame perfect jump, it's just barely possible to miss the Mummer's hitbox. and with this horrible jump behind us, we can collect all the coins in this room, and then blast out of a tomb with all free treasures and 40,140 coins.
With that, we can move on to the second secret level, Gurgle Gulch, which, while it is tedious, it doesn't feature anything extremely difficult, allowing us out with all 3 treasures and 32,590 coins. And after that, we can move on to World 2, in which we can start off with Sneak Peek, which has a bunch of difficult timed sections with boulders, sometimes even with fragile money bags, which, if we're thrown into by the boulders, or the boulders crush the bags themselves, we only get a single coin. But as long as we get to these sections, it's not a big deal, and we're able to fire out this level with all 3 treasures, the secret map, and 46,220 coins.
Now it is time. Remember how Nathaniel Bandy said the game would be played slowly and methodically all the way back at our board to sweet stuff? Not anymore. Now we're playing Lowdown Depths. Now, in all previous levels, we would play through the level, rescue a Murphle, and then run back through the start of the level through a new path in an escape section. These sections, of course, are timed. Now, Lowdown Depths is, of course, just the same, except essentially the entire level is this timed escape section.
While in normal gameplay, the level timers isn't that bad. When we go for every coin, it becomes a routing nightmare, and the worst part is that in the end, it isn't even possible because we have a floating golden banderino who is out of reach. The only ways we can attack the enemy result in us only getting a single coin.
While it still is impossible, my best score was getting the first treasure and 44,820 coins, which is every coin available besides the ones in the Golden Bandanero, just barely escaping with less than 8 seconds left. Now, this level is by far the most skill required level in this run, so if you're into speedrunning, this could be the level for you. I even made a parody of it in Mario Maker 2 to replicate its challenge.
With that out of the way, we can move on to the Neon City in World 3, which, while it does have another infinite coin slot machine, the majority of the level is pretty easy, allowing us to leave the level with all 3 treasures, the secret map, and 51,730 coins. Next up is the Derailed Express, which is sadly impossible because it features a small split path where if you jump for some coins, you miss a diamond and vice versa. The coin path is actually extremely worse in this case because it makes us lose our dash state, while the diamond path allows us to keep our dash state and near the end of the escape section grab a second diamond. This lets the best possible coin amount for this level be 52,340 coins as well as 3 treasures.
Next up is World 4, where we start out in Launchpad Labyrinth, and this level is actually pretty similar to Lowdown Depths, just with a small little trade-off, that being the timer in this level is not quite as tight. But this is in exchange for now the level is of course played with motion controls with rocket buckets, and the level of course features a golden floating bandanero. But this one we can actually thankfully grab by popping out of the rocket bucket and then jumping on the enemy. Overall, while the level definitely is tough, I would say it's honestly easier than Lowdown Depths if you are precise with your movements and have some good routing. And with that, this level lets us fly away to victory with a total of all 3 treasures and 70,900 coins. And after that is Riverboat Rapids, which, while featuring difficult platforming sections, doesn't really throw anything too difficult at us. And this allows us to escape with all 3 treasures, the secret map, and 72,000 coins. And then finally we can end off World 4 with Prison,
which had to bring back those annoying arrow doors. Other than that, the escape section is a little difficult, requiring us to put a coin bag on top of the rocket bucket and escort it up to a higher section. Thankfully, nothing is extremely difficult, and we are able to beat the level with all 3 treasures and all 85,090 coins. Next up is Bamboozle Village, which, while is somewhat difficult, it doesn't bamboozle us in the slightest, and we can break out with all 3 treasures, the secret map, and 76,630 coins.
Next up is Freezin Field, where while most of the level is completely possible, if not a little bit difficult, we do have a floating golden bandanero in this level, which is sadly out of our reach, which means this level is technically impossible, resulting in us only being able to get all 3 treasures and 76,200 coins. But with that out of the way, next up is Boogie Mansion, which is locked behind Bad Manor, which while it is impossible, its most coin-littered route gives us all 3 treasures, no secret map since it's on the upper path, and 58,990 coins. But with that, we can move on to Boogie Mansion, and this level is actually pretty difficult, but it doesn't feature anything that truly gets in our way of this quest. And with that, we can finish off the level with all 3 treasures and 89,550 coins.
Even though this part of the game is still impossible to access, we should probably finish off the rest of the game, that being with the large fry cook, which doesn't have any coins. And now we are here at the Shake King, who actually does supply us with coins, and because we haven't been buying health upgrades this entire time because that would cost money, it is actually kind of tough to take him down considering how many phases he has. Nevertheless, we can persevere through the Shake King and leave 80,000 coins richer. Now we get to watch Wario with all of his money in the infinite coin bag.
Wait, did you say infinite? That means everything we've worked for was just for nothing if at the end he just gets an infinite supply of coins. But all kidding aside, is it possible to beat Wario Land Shake It with every single coin? Sadly no, as bad manners stops us in the last section. But now it's time for the grand total. How many coins were we able to get? For all possible stages, that means they were accessible and completable. We end off the game with 1,224,590 coins. But if you're looking for a true total, this means all levels with their most coin-littered paths, we can get 1,672,710 coins. And that adds a whole 448,120 coins to the total. And that's pretty cool. But before I go, I just wanted to give a huge thank you to Nathaniel Bandy for joining me today. If you want more altcoin goodness, go ahead and check out his channel in the card above or in the description below. He actually just uploaded a video on beating Super Mario Galaxy with every single star bit. But with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.